What up, YouTube? I have been super slack. I have been on TikTok on all their different accounts all over the place. I just checked out the YouTube channel, and you know, we've got some subscribers. It's starting to pick up some momentum, and I'm like, you know what? I got to get off my ass and actually put some content out there. So that's what we're going to do today. I figured for the first video, I'm going to do a catch, clean, and cook. I'm gonna put some lines out, try to catch some catfish. I figured I'd shoot a couple squirrels too. And of course I stepped outside without a gun, and here's some squirrels. So I'm gonna go get a gun. Well, I got the handy dandy garden gun busted out. We're gonna go try to plug a squirrel. And that's it. Now there's no squirrels because of I have a gun. If I came out with a fishing pole, they'd be jumping all over the friggin' trees. Well, the garden gun didn't produce any meat, which is my fault. I did chase one squirrel around the yard. He ain't coming back for a while. He got the shit scared out of him. Yeah, I'm getting rusty. So I'm gonna put a rod out. We're gonna try to get some catfish. There's a little duck over there still. And that's it. Nothing fancy to dock fishing. Just cast it out, reel up a little bit of the slack. And now I'm gonna go clean on the house. Hopefully we'll get some catfish in a bit. Put up the garden gun because I'm not gonna be seeing any more squirrels today. That is corn that squirrel dragged all the way over from over there. That's why we don't want squirrels in the yard. Came outside to put some stuff on the burn pile, and we've already got a fish on. Let's hope he's not snagged on the dock. Oh, crap. He is. Okay. Let me get him off, and I'll get back to y'all. Well, he ain't a catfish. We got a little brim. It's actually a decent brim. Might keep him for bait, and we might just cook him. Let's see what else we catch. Well, we are not going to be using that guy for bait, and we're definitely not going to be eating him, because as I was pulling up the bait bucket with one hand, I clutched. I let him fall into the water with the other hand. So we'll get the lines back out, go back to work, and see what happens. Okay, we have had no luck since that brim. But you can see there's quite a bit of bait fish. That's actually a big ass bass just sitting there. And catfish should be coming out here pretty soon. And you can't see it on screen, but out here the water is really puffy and muddy. And that's because we got some carp in here rolling. So I might put out some rods for some carp. I'm gonna have to go make some carp bait first. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to make some carp bait real quick. I'm using whole, basically field corn with shells. I fill the pot up with about 1/3, and then I fill it up with water. I'm using an Instapot, which is super easy. But if you boil yours, you can just put it right on the stove, put a lid on it, bring it to a boil, and roll it. As far as, you know, a rolling boil for a little while. Just don't put more than 1/3 because it expands so much, it'll go all over as far as spilling out. Okay, and I always set it at multi-grain, and usually about 45 to an hour. Well, we caught one more brim, and everything else got robbed, so we're gonna rebait and see what happens. Wow, this very possibly might be turning into pull some alligator meat out of the freezer and fry it up. I don't know, because we're not having any luck at all. Laura and I do a lot of traveling. It's hard to keep fresh bait on hand. So we've been playing around with Berkeley gulps, some of that stuff. I just ordered some of the fish bites because I've heard good stuff about them, and I got shrimp flavored. That's what we always use. And I noticed they had some Yaman freshwater catfish bait. We're gonna give it a shot. I got 2 other rods. We'll see what happens. I cut a couple of pieces off with a pair of kitchen shears, and let's go give them a swing, see what happens. Okay, I actually just put a carp rod out, and we're gonna see what happens once again, but looks like I'm gonna have to make alternative dinner plans. Good evening, little duck. You're not exactly being sneaky. You know what you're up to. No, move. Mr. Wiggles. Well, I took a shower, and it looks like we might have a carp on. Well, it's not running. Looks like there might be something on it. There. Yeah, a little something. Oh.
Oh.
I don't know. It ran pretty good. You want it?
You take it.
Okay. Oh.
Is he gone?
Yep.
Aww.
Well, put it back out, see what happens. Oh.
There you go.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Finally managed to catch one catfish, so there will be some catfish stew. Well, there's one little channel cat. I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and start prepping up some stew. Okay, now that we finally have a catfish, I'm gonna show you all how to make South Carolina style catfish stew. It's pretty easy. All you need is a stock pot, tomato soup, ketchup, salt, pepper, chili powder. I always throw a little Old Bay in because I like it. Hot sauce, I like the picante, so I use the Tapatio, and some Worcestershire sauce. Then you need some tomatoes, onion, potatoes, and of course catfish, which we finally caught. Okay, first thing you do is mix the can of tomato soup, a couple of big heavy squirts of ketchup, a can and a half of water, and then start adding your Old Bay if you want it. I like it. Your chili powder, Worcestershire, and your hot sauce. Most people like a vinegar-based hot sauce, like Texas Pete, stuff like that, Frank's Red Hot. I like picante, so I go with a Tapatio or some Mexican picante sauce. Okay, I've got everything mixed up. The tomatoes, they're probably the last tomatoes we're gonna get off our bushes for this year. I left whole because they were small. And I left the onions and the potatoes pretty chunky. Like, I really enjoy a chunky catfish stew. So we're gonna cover that, let it boil, and then go ahead and let it simmer for quite some time as I go clean that catfish. Okay, y'all, I am going outside to clean that catfish, and I'd love to show you, but apparently it's far too graphic content, so I won't. Plus, if y'all are watching this, you probably know how to clean catfish already. Well, I hope we catch some more catfish, because that's all the meat we got. I mean, it's enough for one little serving for Laura and myself, but it ain't gonna be a big dish. Okay, the carp bait is done. I'm gonna let that cool still. You can see how it's real soft, almost like canned corn. It's easy to get right on the hook. If you cook it too much, it gets too soft and won't stay on the hook. Here's the catfish stew. And it is looking just about ready. Okay, Laura is actually pretty particular when it comes to her catfish stew. So we're gonna give that a little bit, simmer down some. I'm gonna go serve her up a bowl, and I'm gonna see what she thinks. Keep your fingers crossed, y'all. The moment of truth is coming. I even got fancy. Look, there's a paper towel placemat. There's some nice fresh catfish stew. And there's even a scented Christmas candle. I feel sort of bad serving fish stew next to Jeffrey, our pet fish. I'm sure he'll get over it. It's hot.
Okay. I'm glad you used a trivet.
Oh yeah, trivet, huh?
That's what they're called.
Okay.
I learned it on the interweb.
Oh, look at you all sophisticated.
It's good.
Okay, what's up? You're not looking super happy. Too spicy?
Yeah.
You're okay.
Too spicy, like hot sauce spicy.
Okay.
And I think it could use black pepper, but that's it.
Oh, okay. You know what? The one thing I didn't add, and I always add it at the very end, is salt and pepper. So.
Well, good job.
Cool. I love you.
I love you.
You know why it's so hot?
Why?
Because I bring the fire, baby.
It's good. Just hot.
Well, that was it. It wasn't a super exciting video, but I got a hair up my behind and I was like, I'm gonna put a video out today. So at least I got that done. I'm feeling pretty accomplished. I also learned how to edit too, so woo-hoo! See y'all soon.